full of accountants that they're like framing as like these dudes dressed in Spartan armor, like forming a phalanx or how you pronounce that word, like coming towards, I don't know, Rome.
86,000 IRS agents they hired.
Yeah.
That's a lot of salaries to pay.
That is a lot of salaries to pay. And federal employees are paid pretty decently, I imagine. Well, I'm not afraid, though, of like, if I met a guy and he was like, oh, I'm an accountant, the first thought in my head is like, oh, no, he's going to take everything I own. He's going to steal from me. My first thought is, oh, I'm going to dump this nerd in a lake,
dumpster. in a public, you know, like the bottom of a body of water.
Yeah, like I'm gonna throw him in Lake Erie.
Yeah, he'll sink. It's like what they did to the witches.
He'll sink because he's got so many fucking calculators in his jacket.
Exactly, he's got like
he's a nerd.
10 Ti 84s. Jesus Christ! You know what they used to do to witches back in the day? They used to fucking tie anchors around their ankles. The women they thought were witches, and then they put them in the drink. And if they sunk, that means they weren't a witch.
Dude, what a and it's so and if they do sink, so if they don't sink, they're a witch.
So if they sink, we're not a witch. But if they come back up, then they were a witch and they got executed.
Dude, I love guilty until proven innocent. That's so fucking fun. So and whenever they sink, which I assume was a lot, they're just like, you know, you win some, you lose some, you know.
I guess we were wrong.
I guess we were wrong, but at least we tried. And you know, I'd rather try and fail than, you know, than have to be bewitched.
It's like that Wayne Gretzky quote, you miss every shot you don't take. 100% of the shots you don't take, 100% of the witches you don't sink.
Exactly. And that's what the Pilgrims were saying back in the day. Before even Wayne Gretzky was born. They were quoting him before he was even born. Because he was an inspiration.
He was. Timeless.
Across time, forward and backwards.
Can I say something real quick, Ted?
You can. I hope you would.
Fuck the Pilgrims. That's the stupidest shit. They carved like on a rock, and now this is like the biggest thing in Massachusetts or wherever the fuck they landed. What? Where'd they land? Where'd they even land?
Yeah, after I left, though. But previously, the biggest thing in Massachusetts was my juicy ass.
They seriously have like a tourist attraction for Plymouth Rock, and it's just a rock with like some faintly carved shit.
I don't even know. And here's the thing: I don't even know if the Plymouth Rock that they say is the Plymouth Rock is even the rock.
No, it's probably not. It's probably like there's caves. There's like a famous cave that they recreated 1-to-1 so that people could go in it and experience it. I guarantee that rock is somewhere else.
You could put a plaque in front of any rock and add some importance to it. And people would take pictures with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think I'd been to Plymouth like once, but like, yeah, no, Plymouth Rock, loser. But on your point, yeah, Pilgrims. Fuck them, dude.
Fucking
Can you imagine being a pilgrim? And on top of that, I find it. Have you ever met one of those people in elementary school where they're like, oh, I'm related to the person who came, like someone who came over on the Mayflower. I'm like, shut up.
Fuck you.
Who the fuck cares?
You little asshole cocksucker.
Who cares? You didn't do the work.
I'm glad I'm glad your family comes from a persecution. Let's sink you again.
I'm gonna let that one like marinate. I'm not gonna like add more. I'm gonna leave you to try. It's crazy that like back in the day when it came to the king, like you had to listen to him because you'd get like hung if you didn't.
What do you mean you had to listen? How would you even listen to him? You were just on a farm, Ted.
Well,
you were on a farm back in the day.
Dude, but do you know what they were doing to serfs back in the day? Like, there'd be knights just rolling around. I bet if I was a knight back in the day, I could roll around riding my fucking horse with all my armor, and I could just fucking do the equivalent of a fucking... whatever that thing is, a drive-by with a fucking claymore on a serf, and nothing would happen to me. Nothing would happen to me.
You could run away, and then no one was like, oh yeah.
You know why? Because I would have sir at the beginning of my name. So there's nothing that anyone could do if they're not also like a noble or something. Like, and what sort of noble is going to be like, oh, you killed like one of my serfs that I didn't even know existed, and I take 50% of their grain every fucking 2 weeks. Like, they're not gonna kill about that.
You're right, dude. A nuclear bomb could have gone off in the kingdom center, and all the serfs would not have even known until like weeks and weeks later.
They would have thought that there was some witchcraft going on, and they'd start throwing the local the smartest woman in town into a fucking lake.
And they'd all
it's always the
tie
smartest
anchors
woman
around.
too, isn't it?
It is always the smartest.
It's like it's like for some reason, whenever a woman back then had a good idea, she was like, "Hey, maybe we should stop like